Hello. Welcome to jasonnewland.com. And Vinny in the background doing whatever it is he does, doing his thing. So yeah, this is Let Me Bore You to Sleep. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. And this is Trivia Tuesday. Trivia Tuesday. Named because I'm going to be talking about some trivia. And it's Tuesday. It's a very clever title, I'm sure you agree. Just a little bit of an update. Yesterday's boring objects that I did, I only originally released just one version of the recording because I was concerned about the background sound from downstairs. But today I kind of listened back to it and I decided to make the other 5 versions. So I created that earlier on. So they are available on my website and on the podcasts. And now we're here. Now we're here again. So yeah, welcome. I had to go out today. I really didn't want to. So I had a phone call last night from my friend. Was it last night? It was sometime. And he asked me to do him a favour. And I had to send him something by post. So I went, I said, okay, well I need to collect my prescription anyway, which is a couple of doors away from the post office. And then I woke up this morning and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go out, really didn't want to go out. And I just knocked my glass. How could I knock my own glasses off my face? That was weird. And in the end I did. I mean, it's not a very interesting story, is it? But I did. I went out. Vinny wasn't happy because I didn't take him with me because I can't take him into the post office. So it's no good, really. I walked up to the bus stop. I left to start with and I forgot the thing I was supposed to send to my friend, which was annoying, so I had to come back. Luckily I hadn't gone too far because I had a carrier bag, so I wanted my bottle of water with me. And because I knew I was going to be carrying back my prescriptions, you know, it's good to have a carrier bag. But I forgot to put, because I was trying to avoid Vinny, I forgot to put the letters, the envelope, in the carrier bag. Oh, I literally could have got all the way there and not realised. But I didn't, so that's not valid. I get to the bus stop. There was a lady just coming out of her front door who lives opposite the bus stop. And I could tell the way she was coming out that she knew exactly what time the bus was coming. So that was handy. So she said good morning. And the bus turned up probably about 3-4 minutes later. So I got there to where I needed to go, walked over to where I needed to go, went in the post office. I really didn't know what I was doing. But the man behind the post office was really helpful. And he helped me go through it. Just doing like a registered delivery, recorded delivery. But I don't know, there was a few little bits I had to do. I had to write the envelope and all that stuff, but all worked out okay. And then I went into the chemist to get my prescription, and for some reason I was just looking around just to see what was on the shelves and stuff, thinking, I wonder if there's anything I need while I'm here. Is there anything I need other than my prescription? and I saw this box of glasses wipes, for spectacles, for glasses cleaners or whatever, and for screens. And I thought, oh, they were only £1.50, so I bought some, and they're pretty good, actually. Pretty good. Oh, yeah. So I've used them already. Oops, I've got to get rid of that metal thing. Still there. And then I come home, and literally I left the house at just after 10, and I was home. I can actually look. I left the house 10 o'clock. Oh no, blimey. I left the house at 9:58, then I came back again at 10 because I'd forgotten that thing. Then I left again at 10:01, and I was back at 10:45. So I managed to get the bus back. I was only waiting for about 5 minutes for the bus. So I wasn't gone long at all, really, so that was good. I thought about getting a sausage roll and a Cornish pasty and maybe a little cake, but that would have been involved going to the sandwich shop, which meant I would have missed the bus. I didn't know when the bus was coming, but, I would have missed it. So it worked out good. Now, my neighbour is having a new kitchen put in this week. So he has to move everything from his kitchen out of the kitchen. Like anything that's in the cupboards, all that stuff, including fridge, freezer, and a washing machine. So I told him I'd give him a hand to move stuff out on Wednesday, because they're doing it on Thursday. They're starting on Thursday. But then I thought, I didn't realise how much rubbish there was, but I thought, well, we probably better try and get rid of as much rubbish on Tuesday afternoon, because the rubbish is collected on a Wednesday morning. So I said to him, I'll come and do that tomorrow afternoon. And that's what I did. He knocked on my door. I think I was in bed, but I went round and was in there for... How long was I in there for? I can check this as well, blimey. I went in... Knocked on his door at 5 minutes past 4. 5 minutes past 4. And eventually... Blimey. Yeah, I got home at 7 minutes past 3. 5 minutes past 2, and I got in at 7 minutes past 3. And there was, blimey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 big black bags of rubbish. They're still in the hallway now, because we can't put them out until really closer to this evening. None of it's food, it's just bits and bobs, paper and stuff. Some pans that are just rusty. It's amazing. He had stuff from 25 years ago. He even had his original first tenancy payment, like the rent card. They used to actually have like a payment card, and the rent was like £44 a week when he moved in 1998. Blimey. £44 a week for a flat, a one-bedroom flat in 1998. And I was paying £40 for a room in 1991. I think when I left London, I was paying 40, 50, £60 a week for a little room. So £44 a week is pretty good for a flat. Back then, still is. I mean, it's about just over £100 a week now, which is still really good. I mean, nowhere outside of social housing in this country, I don't think you're going to get a one-bedroom flat for less than £100 a week. It'd be a lot more, especially, oh blimey, if you're in a city, any city, it's going to be huge amounts. I mean, I think London's outpriced itself to the point where it's just almost impossible to privately rent a flat in London, just a single person, because unless they've got a super high-powered, a super well-paid job, they're probably not going to be able to cover that rent of whatever it is, £2,000 a month or something ridiculous like that. I made that bit up. I wonder if it's true. Average one-bed flat rent, East London. So let's go for East London. That's still a fairly cheapish part. Properties to rent in East London, right move. Let's have a look. I say it's a cheap part, but the West End was always super. Wow. To be fair, this one's in Canary Wharf, so come on. It's a stunning 5th floor, one-bedroom property to rent, and it's 600 square feet of living space, plus an ultra-modern whatever. Just a picture of it. I mean, it's, it was never going to be cheap. That's $3,150 per calendar month, which works out £727 a week. £727 a week, one-bedroom flat. So I'm guessing that's aimed at people that are working in Canary Wharf. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. That's 35 grand a year. 32 grand a year. 33 grand a year. No, bloody, it's even more than that, isn't it? So 3,150 times by 10, which is 31,500. And then you got another 2 months of 3,150, so that's 6,300. Right, remember the 6,300 plus 31,500. It's like £37,000 just to rent a one-bedroom flat. I know it's not. It's an apartment. It's not a flat. It's an apartment. And another one, Tower Hill, £2,600 a month. 1,000. Oh, this is better. So this is even places that like Ilford. Okay. Available from the 21st of April. This fantastic one-bedroom property located in Ilford. £1,450 per calendar month. So that's £335 a week. These were places that were cheap to live in when I lived in London. Stepney is another one. £1,625 per calendar month. £375 a week. And these are just one bedrooms. Although the photographs make them look really nice, to be fair. But another one, where's E20? Where's E20? E15 Stratford. E17 is Walthamstow. E20. Westfield Avenue, London, E20. I don't know where E20 is. unless I'm in Westfield Avenue. I don't know. 2,880 a month. Rushton Walk. All right, okay. I found something in Stratford. Well, it's E15, so short walk to Stratford Station and Westfield Shopping Centre. 2,100 per calendar month. 1 bedroom flat. £485 a week. Looks very nice. It does. It looks spacious, but you know what? They don't fill it with furniture. So if someone was living there, they really, with the pictures, they make sure there's no televisions or anything like that on there, because television can take up quite a bit of room, can't it? So they're very clever with the way they put it together. I mean, it is lovely. I mean, they're very lovely places, but blimey. Oh, even the bathroom's nice. And it's got a veranda. Is it a veranda, or is that just that leads you to the front door? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. See, that all wasn't there before, so I don't know where that is. These are modern apartments. They were not there when I lived in Stratford. Oh, it's like a complex, so there's even a gym downstairs that you can use. So it's a lifestyle, I suppose, isn't it? Kind of. Wow. I wonder if there's any cheap. If I put in properties, prioritise properties with newest listed, lowest price. Let's go for lowest price. Right, the lowest price is 1,150 per calendar month. No deposit option available. House share available in the heart. It's a house share. Oh my goodness. A room in a house. £265 a week to share. Just to have a room in a house. My goodness. I mean, I paid £125 a week a few years back for a room in a house. But blimey. Oh, I found one. £46 a week. This is good. Alley Street. Car parking space only. One secure. So basically, for £200 per calendar month, it's for a parking space. It's not for. I thought £46 a week for a room or flat. That's good. No. What is this one? £500 per calendar month. McDowell's are pleased to offer to the market this shared house with 1 bedroom. Right. So £115 per week. In all fairness, that's probably not a terrible price for a room. Now, like in London, to get a room for that amount of money is... Bearing in mind I was paying £125 in this town, which is not London. It's really not London. There's another room there, £127 per week. Romford Road, that's near where I used to live. £138 a week, just for a room. Blimey. That's quite a fair. I mean, £600 a month. You think that's 7,200 a year just for rent. I mean, if you was on minimum wage, or someone was on minimum wage, they couldn't live in a place like that because they'd be earning. It's just mind you. I think in my early 20s, I was earning £100 a week. My rent was £40 a week, and I don't think I was getting any tax because I wasn't earning enough to pay tax. So I had £60 to live on, didn't have to pay for travel, so it's just food, and I had electricity. I had to pay for electricity, which is probably five quid a week, maybe. Sometimes more, maybe, yeah, probably 5 to 10 quid a week during the winter. It was one of those electric meters that you have to put the 50p pieces in. And there's no mobile phone bills. Well, I didn't have any bills, didn't have any credit, so there's no credit cards. I probably did have a bank account. I mean, there was a time when I used to take the check into the bank and they would cash it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then they changed it. I can't remember. A long time ago, but yeah, blimey. Blimey. Yeah. Just looking at some of these places, I don't know what I'd have done if I was moving to London now, which in some ways I wish I was, to be fair. Kind of, I don't know. It's not that I'd like to start all over again, but sometimes the starting is the most enjoyable part, I found. You know, the beginning, you know, something new is almost, there's a buzz to it, there's a excitement, like, oh, you know. But moving somewhere, I do sometimes think, you know, it'd be so cool just to maybe have a little go at comedy, maybe just put a little 5 minutes together, and there's no reason, I guess, why I can't do that anyway. Just go up to London and book it. I can all do it online now, I suppose. Book a gig and then just turn up and do 5 minutes of jokes. Hopefully, you know, that it's okay. Oh, why is John Richardson in the news? John Richardson is quitting comedy. Truth behind... I want to find out why. Sorry, I have to find out why. John Richardson gives real reason he's quitting comedy as he lands job in BBC's Waterloo Road. Comedian John Richardson, who's actually very funny, just pointing that out, he's really good. It's like very dry sort of humour, has revealed the truth behind his decision to quit stand-up comedy. He's joining BBC drama Waterloo Road. The comedian shocked fans earlier this week when he went on social media to share his plan of following his childhood dreams of becoming a teacher. Well, he's not really a teacher, is it? It's a TV teacher. It's an actor acting as a teacher. It's not a real school. But now it's emerged that rather than joining a real school, he is swelling the staff room ranks of BBC One's dramatised version called Waterloo Road. I mean, to be fair, my experience in the comedy world of comedians is most of them, I say most of them, most of the big names that I saw weren't in comedy to do comedy. They were in comedy to do comedy just when they started out, but a lot of them were hoping to move up, you know, get on television, maybe have their own comedy show, but maybe also hosting a quiz, hosting a show. That seemed to be where the money was, or perhaps get into acting as opposed to doing gigs 5 nights a week. But then some other comedians, they're really into doing gigs. They really want to perform. Someone like Jimmy Carr, for example, and Bill Burr, and there's quite a few that seem to love doing the stand-up. But I remember there was one comedian, and two I remember, and they were headlining at the comedy club that I used to be involved in, and the amount of times they would cancel at the last minute because they got a TV gig, they got a film opportunity, either on TV or in the movie or whatever, and so they just like, oh yeah, can't turn up. And because they were big names, the club kept giving them an opportunity to be there because they wanted them there because they were really, really good. But if they got an opportunity to be on TV, they would take that over being on stage, earning 250 quid or whatever, 200 quid. They would take the probably 5-10 grand they were going to get from being on TV. Or to be, even if they weren't getting paid much for the TV position, it's just an opportunity to reach a really large audience and lead to something big. So I saw that quite a few times. 3 times, I'm thinking enough someone else actually as well. But it was kind of just standard, like you do the comedy, and some loved doing comedy, some decided to go into writing because gigging every night was just, it takes a toll. Doing anything every day for years and years and years can, I suppose, get a little bit monotonous. So to want, moving on to do something else. So I guess that's what John Richardson's doing. He's done comedy for probably 20 odd years, I'm guessing. What does it say? I don't know how long he's been around, but usually comedians are around a long time before they ever become well known. I've been thinking a lot about, so I was in 1997, he was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He was 18 years old when I left London. Blimey. And now he's 63. Wow. Oh well. See, I was actually looking on there for something. What was I looking on there for? So this is just trivia about... Go back. Because now if you just click on the thing, it gives you... I was going to search for something. Oh yeah. Book open spot at London Comedy Club. Find events for London stand-up open mic stand-up. Okay, right. It was actually a website for it. Last updated August 2024. To book a spot, you will need to apply via the Knight's website on Facebook. We Are Funny Project, GNB Comedy page. Where is this? York Way, London, N1. Wagon and Horses, Surbiton Road. The White Hart, the Comedy Club, Ding Dong Gong Show. Yeah, that Lion's Den, that doesn't sound like something I'd want to go to. I want to go somewhere nice, not somewhere where they're going to be gonging me off. Up the Creek, it's still there, is it? Blimey, Up the Creek website. This was famous for just, not just heckling people off, but chucking stuff at them and everything. Malcolm Hardy was the man. He was in charge, and he was very funny. I did a gig there, and I thought I was doing really well. And the audience were laughing, and I turned around, and Malcolm was at the corner of the stage, urinating into a bucket. That's a true story. So they weren't laughing at me. The home of stand-up comedy. Saturday night comedy. Shaughnessy. So I wonder how one of the best places to see live comedy. About venue hire, what's up, visit. So how do you book? I wonder if it gives you booking a... I've got no idea. That'd be really weird. It's like going back though, isn't it? Like going back in time. The Comedy Cabin. Hoxton. Where's Hoxton? Hoxton, blimey, yeah, it's just up the road from... what's it? Shoreditch. Comedy Cabin. Booking page. Let's have a look. See. Oh, it's a Facebook page. As far as trivia, Tuesday, it's not been much trivia, is there? Who'd have thought I'd be the one complaining about myself? So Sebastian has commented on my latest picture for my latest recording yesterday. Picture shows council social worker Peter after getting another obscene email from Jason targeted at him. Really? So new comedians, fresh material. Can is an admin. Members join a group. So yeah, it's a lot of hassle, isn't it? It's a lot of hassle, man. So we're going to do some trivia. So let's have a look at. It's got me thinking about rent prices over the years. How's rent prices changed over the years? Room rent prices changed. I just want to see if they've got any kind of website. Okay, according to this, consistent increase in both the UK and US. Room rents have steadily increased over the past 20 years. Key drivers: inflation, housing shortage, rising mortgage rates, and increased demand from students and young professionals. This is interesting. To the UK. 2005, the average room rent was £60 to £80. Yep, I go along with that. I was paying probably 75 or something, 70 when I was in 2005, 60. So 2010, 70 to 100 a week for a room in a shared house. 2015, 90 to 120. So in 2010 or in 2011, I was paying £125 a week, but that was for an ensuite, even though the ensuite didn't work, but you know, it looked nice. So 2015, £90 to 120 is when I moved in here. So I was paying, the rent here was 100, or was it 98 or something? It was, yeah, it was around that amount per week for the one bedroom flat. 2020, 100 to 140. 2024, 120 to 180 plus per week for a room. Wow. US room rent charges, general figures. This is for a room, per room a month in a house. 2005, $300 to $500 a month. 2010, $400 to $600 a month. This is average. 2015, $500 to $750 a month. 2020 or 2020, $600 to $850 a month. And 2024, $700 to $1,000 plus US dollars, especially in urban areas. Wow. Okay. What about Australia? What about other countries? Okay. Other countries. Let's see what other ones. What about other countries? Great question, Jason. Here's a quick look at how room rent prices have changed in other countries over the years. A general overview with notable patterns. So I'm using ChatGPT, just so you know. Australia. So the average rent for a shared room, this is just a room in a house, $2,500 to $250 Australian dollars. It's going to be Australian dollars because it's in Australia. 2015, $150 to $220. 2024, $220 to $300 plus. Weekly. I'm sorry, that's weekly, just for a room. That seems a bit excessive, to be honest. I mean, I suppose in the cities and that, but blimey, a week, that just seems a lot. Canada, 350 to 500 monthly rent. This is monthly. 350 to 500, 2005, 2015, 500 to 700, 2024, 700 to 1,000. So this is Canadian dollars. So I think Canadian dollars is half the amount of UK money, like statistically, or whatever you call it. I've got a calculator here, currency calculator. Let's have a look. No, I don't want to update it. So close. So $10. Okay, let's go to $1. One UK pound is the equivalent to $1.26, and then you've got. We go to Australia. So if I go $1 £1 is the equivalent of $2.03. So in Australia. So looking at that, if you go back to the Australian, I mean the exchange rate might have been different back then, but you're looking at, so it's $100, 2005, which would be £50 or £75, which is less. I don't know. We were 60 to 80, so yeah. Australia. If we look at it now, yeah. So it's 2024, 120 to 180. So there's still only 60. Nope. I'm losing track of what I'm thinking about now. 220, so £110 a week. Yeah, so it's kind of similar to the UK, really, price-wise. So £1 in the UK, or $2.03 or whatever Australian dollars is worth £1 here. Let's say Canada, BCC, Canadian dollar. It's nearly the same. £1 is worth $1.82 Canadian cents. So I don't know if that means just the currency in the UK is just really, really low. I'm not 100% sure how it all works. So Canada, you've got 2005, it was 350 monthly rent, 350 to 500. So that would be, let's say, roughly half. So what's half of 350? 175. So £175 a month. This is for a shared room. This is pretty good. £175 for a shared room. It's a lot cheaper than the UK. Even then, now it's 700 to 1,000. So you got that go down £350 per month, all the way up to £500 a month, UK money. So that's for a shared room, well, like a room in a shared house. Yeah, that's oh my goodness, Germany is so cheap. I don't mean that as like they're cheap, like they won't never pick up a tab in a restaurant, or, you know, they won't never pay for any food. And I don't mean like that. I'll never give a tip. I don't mean it like that. I mean the rent in Germany, 2005, average monthly rent for a room, like a room in a flat, like a shared flat or whatever, a room, 250. This is euro, 250 to 350 per month. So let's go for euro. Is that E, isn't it? E, no, EURO, EU, ABCD, euro. That's it. So $1, £1 is $1. £1 is €1 and 21. I don't know what it is. What is it? It says one is the dollar, is the euro. I don't know. It says 1.21 euro. Anyway, per pound. So, which means, let's say 350 is €423. Oh, what am I doing? 350. I did the wrong one. 350. Okay, stop it. 350. He won't eat his dinner, Vinny. He won't eat his dinner. I keep putting food out, but he'll eat his food when he's out. Well, out, you know, WALKING in the park. He will. I take a handful of food and eat that. He'll take treats. Well, anything, but I put his food in a bowl and he doesn't want it. So in 2005, it was equivalent of the top level was equivalent of £288 a month, which 3 divided by 4, £72. Yeah. So it's kind of the same, I suppose, similar, but it hasn't gone up the huge amount like the others have. So it's 450 to 650 plus. So if you can get a rent for 450, £371. So times that, and that's a month, isn't it? So times by 12. Divided by 52. £85 a week. Or £85.74 a week now. So it's cheaper than the UK. It's definitely, I think it'd be quite hard to get a room for that now. You're looking at least 100, if not more. Let's have a look at Japan. Now let's have a look at India. So look at India. So I don't mean the country, but just what is Indian currency? Indian, AINI, A B C D E F G H I. Okay, Indian. India rupees. So India rupees. 2005. It was 2,000 to 4,000. So let's put 3,000. What? Monthly rent. So this is 2,000 to 4,000. So I'm going to go in the middle. £27.26 a month. £27 a month. I mean, you pay £27 a month for rent. I can't get my head around that. Blimey. So now it's 6. Let's go to the top price then, between 6 and 10,000 now. Let's go 10,000 then. 10,000. £90.87. So if we go 10,000, I don't know, what kind of level of room that would be, but £90.87 a month. You could live there for, I mean, literally, you could live there for years and not pay hardly anything. When you think, if you got that and you're going to spend, let's say, £200 a month, including food. Wow. Yeah, blimey. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more expensive places. Japan. Let's have a look at Japan. 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 J-J-J-H-I. Oh no. H-I. That's it, Vinny. Have a good old drink. J-H-I-J-K-R. J-H-I-J-K-L-M-N-R-M-J-B. J-K, that's it, Japan. Jersey pound. Japanese yen. So in 2005 it was 30,000 to 50,000. So let's just put in 50,000 just for the sake of it. £263 a month UK money, which is 2005 263 probably times by 12 equals divided by 52, £60.91 a week. So yeah, it was cheaper than what I was paying back then. Go up to 2015 40 to 60,000. Now 2024 50 to 70. So we go to 70,000. See how much that works out. 70,000 yen. 70,000. £369.55 times by 12, which divided by 52, £85 a week. So that's cheap. It's just a room, but it's pretty compared to the UK. What are you doing, Vinny? You're making some weird noises. So the overall global pattern. So that things have gone up. Canada, did we do Canada, didn't we? Toronto and Vancouver are the most sought after, I think, in Canada. Do you ever hear a sound? Well, it sounds like someone's coming up the stairs. I hope not, because I don't want to be disrupted. Mind you, it looks really bad because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big black bin bags right outside my door in the hallway. Now there's no food in there at all. It's just like rubbish. It's not like smelly, dirty rubbish. It's just like old magazines and stuff like that. But it probably looks really bad. But the thing is, the rubbish people come tomorrow. If we put it out too early, someone might come along and complain. But if we put it out in the evening, Wednesday tonight evening, it's fine. But if we put it out during the day, the neighbours have a habit of complaining about rubbish being put out too early, and we can end up getting a fine of £250 or something. So it's going to stay up here till, I'd say, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock's a good time. So it's 4:30 now. Vinny, why are you whining? He's waiting to get his bones, but I haven't got any bones for him to eat. Any of the bones things that he likes. I haven't got any, Vinny. Perhaps if you had your dinner, you wouldn't be hungry. Just an idea. Sorry, don't mean to be controversial. Just an idea, man. Perhaps if you ate your din-dins. He's always got his frown, like he's like really concerned. Like, what? What? What is it, Daddy? What? Oh man, I don't generally talk about too many serious things, but I woke up this morning about 1:45 in the morning. Went to bed about 9. And yeah, it's Tuesday, so I went to bed about 9. Woke up at 1:45, and I just had I wasn't enjoying the dream I was having, so I just got out of bed and I thought, I did a wee, like you do, when you're obviously in the toilet, and it's hard to do out the window, man. They get stuck sometimes. But I thought, you know what, I'm getting up. I'm not going back to bed. And I just had my breakfast. And then went back to bed later. And then I had another strange dream. This was a nice dream, and it was just, but weird. It's a very weird dream. Weird, like proper weird. Can't remember what it is. I don't keep a track of my dreams. I don't write them down or anything. But so what I'll do, if I just ask find me 20 facts about renting rooms. I don't know what it'll come up with, but yeah, trivia. Find me 20 trivia facts about renting rooms. Here we go. Sure, here we go. This is the roommate agreement was popularized by Sheldon Cooper. What? Oh, it was popularized by Sheldon Cooper in The Big Bang Theory, but too many R's here. Real roommate contracts do exist and can include clauses like no eating my cheese. Did I ever tell you? I have told people I lived in one place, just another room that I was in a house, and someone was taking stuff out of the fridge or the freezer or something. They were just basically taking stuff out. Which just reminded me, I bought some cornettos yesterday. They're in the freezer. I forgot all about them. It might be in the fridge though. So no, I didn't put them in the fridge. But going back to this story. So what they did, this lady who lived in the room next to me with her boyfriend or husband, I got on really well with both of them, and I'd known them previously anyway. So they, I mean, he actually got married to her friend in the previous year, like in 1989. I went to the wedding, and then they were together in 91. So I don't know how that happened, and I knew her because I'd worked with her in caravan site. So I knew him from marrying the other lady. I knew the other lady from, blimey, I think going into a pub. Or maybe she worked in a place I worked at. So yeah. Anyway, it's a long time ago. So, but she was Scottish. There's no reason saying that. Just her friend was Scottish. Maybe they were sisters. I don't know. But she kept saying, someone's eating my cheese. And I think it was cheese. And which is probably explains why she kept saying the word cheese. I mean, if it was chocolate, she would have said chocolate, I suppose. She said, oh. I said, well, it isn't me. She said, no, it's not you. I said, how do you know it's not me? She said, I trust you. Well, fair enough. Now, I didn't know that I think it was her uncle or something was in the police force. So she got him involved, and he came along and he put some ink onto the food packaging, her stuff, which was labelled with her name on it, and just so it'd leave blue ink all over the person, like a thief detection thing. And it was weird because the landlord came in. Actually called the landlord and called everyone in the house, because it was like 3-story house. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 8 rooms, 8 people living there. Called everyone down, and because she'd had some more stuff taken, more cheese taken from her fridge, well, from the communal fridge, which was not big enough for 8 people. There's no fridge in the world big enough for 8 people, apart from probably a walk-in fridge, and apart from those that are big enough. I mean, when I was in the community where we lived there was the Buddhist community, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people living there, and all we had was a little fridge. Like a little freezer and a little fridge. Five people, a little fridge, like the same size that I've got here, which is not big enough for me. I should let it go, really, shouldn't I? It's 18 years now since I lived there. 18 years. Where does the time go? I don't know. So I remember standing at the bottom of the stairs, and Doris, or let's just call her Doris, whatever, I can't remember her name now. Gladys, Doris, Shirley. She had a name, and she got the landlord. The landlord called everyone down. I mean, called everyone. It was only like, I think 3 of us were there during the day, or 4 of us. The rest were probably working and that. And so the bloke, basically, the reason the landlord was calling people down is because there was someone had stolen the cheese. Who stole the cheese? It sounds like some kind of weird children's book, doesn't it? Who stole all the cheese? Who cut the cheese? And there was blue ink all over the handle of the top, the front of the fridge, and the what do you call it? The railing going up the stairs, because it was a white railing. There was blue ink all going up there as well. And so we're standing there, and the landlord calls, and there's a young bloke, probably my age, maybe a little bit older, living upstairs. He came down, and the first thing he says is, "Where's my guitar?" And the landlord said, "What?" He said, "You took my guitar." And he said, "Yeah, you pay your rent and you get your guitar back." Which was a little bit worrying, because I've never known a landlord to take stuff. I've never been in that position, thankfully, but a landlord to take stuff out of your house or out of your room because you're not paid the rent on time. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's legal anymore, but probably never was, really. So he comes down. We're all like, the landlord's going to get everyone together to say that someone's stolen the cheese. They'd done it before, about a week earlier, and everyone was saying, "Wasn't me, wasn't me, wasn't me," which happened again. I said, "It wasn't me." And the two people next to me, it was their cheese, so it wasn't them. And the bloke upstairs, the guitar man, he said it wasn't me. He was standing there, and he had blue ink all over his face and his hands. He didn't know. He didn't know. It was all down his top, because he'd not looked in the mirror, so he didn't know that he had blue ink all over him. And it was very hard, even for the lady and the man that lived next to me, whose cheese that he'd stolen. It was hard not to laugh, because it's not just the fact that he came walking down the stairs oblivious, talking about a guitar, looking like a Smurf. It was the fact that he was denying it, saying it wasn't me. And the landlord said, "Well, there's ink, thief detection ink, invisible ink thing was put onto the food packaging. So we can tell who it is because they'll be covered in blue ink on their face and their mouth." And he said, "But it wasn't me." And it's just very funny. I don't think he did it again. In 2019, a UK survey, 20% of renters admitted that they'd rather live with a ghost than a messy roommate. Okay, when you say roommate, not actually living in the same room, do they mean like someone being messy in the house with the kitchen and the bathroom and stuff, I guess? Because I would never pay to live, well, I have done, but generally I wouldn't. I have shared a room with a couple of people over the years, 3, 4, 5 people, but that's not my 5, 6, 7. It's not my option. It's not my first choice, and it was usually only for a short period of time. So I stayed with 2 friends that had a bedroom. There was a studio apartment, and they had a bedroom. Now, one was a room, just a room with 2 beds, which was weird. And one was a studio apartment, or studio flat, which had 2 beds in it again. Not quite sure why. And I stayed there for a while with him, and I stayed with the other friend for a while. I've also slept on people's couches quite a few times over the years. Sometimes when they're in their bedroom, like I'm on the floor or whatever. Slept in bed with a couple. Well, two men I've slept in bed with. Literally, just to go to sleep. One was Andre. When I first went to Ireland, we shared a bed. Couldn't stop laughing. It was very weird. I'm not, and then another one was a friend in Wales who I did a hypnosis course with, and I'd go and visit him, and he got kicked out of his bed by his girlfriend or his wife. So he got kicked out of the bedroom. So he came. He said, you can sleep on the floor. You can stay in the bed with me. That's what he said. So you got two choices. I'm getting in the bed either way. I said, okay, just please don't fart. But that was weird. Wasn't really my thing. Again, that was really funny. Very awkward. Very strange. No cuddling. I'm just saying it was just, yeah. In Butlins, I shared a room with 2 different people. Or was it 3 different people? I think it was 2. Might have been 3. I think it was 2 different people. So that wasn't, that was weird, because that was a very small room. And yeah, that was unusual. But then when I was a kid, I used to share a room in a dormitory with probably 20 kids. So that's why I didn't know any different really back then. Yeah. It's not ideal. I know, not really my thing, sharing a room. But I'd rather live with a ghost than a messy roommate. Yeah, I think people say that, but then in reality, they might not actually really believe it. One person on Reddit said that their room was fully furnished with someone else's dirty laundry. And I've moved into places where people's stuff is still in there, and they've just left all their stuff in there, or they've been kicked out and they weren't allowed to get their stuff because they owed rent. That was a weird situation. In Japan, you can rent a crying room. Okay, I don't know if that's this is ChatGPT giving me these things. I don't know if it's true, but it says a place where it's encouraged to sob your heart out, no judgment, just tissues. A room. Okay, let me get this right. So there's a room where no one judges you, no one bothers you, and you go in there, lock the door, and there's a box of tissue. It's a box of tissues. Okay, yeah. Crying room, let's call it that. Some landlords include bizarre rules like no singing in the shower after 8 p.m. or no boiling eggs without supervision. I mean, no singing in the shower after 8 p.m. I kind of, it's fair enough. I don't think people need to hear that. No, I had that in a place. That was a £125 a week place where I had my own bathroom en suite, but unfortunately the bathroom was right next to my room. And there was a bloke would go in there and he would sing the loudest that he could do for like an hour at a time. And yeah, that was, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's amazing if you could feel comfortable moving into a house that's got how many was living in there at the time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, how many rooms was there? 2 upstairs, 1, 2, 3, 4 downstairs. 4, 5, 6. 2 people in one room. So there's about 7 or 8 people living in there. To move into a place where there's maybe 7 people living and just have your first shower or bath and just sing for an hour really loud. I mean, that takes a degree of, in consideration, I guess, to be able to do that. As for no boiling eggs without supervision, sure, that sounds like something that would be in a care home, or something. No boiling eggs without supervision. Where would you get supervision from? Renting a room in a house? That's a weird one. In San Francisco, one renter was surprised to find the room was actually a tent in a living room. A tent in a living room for $1,000 a month. Blimey. It's quite funny though, but yeah, wow. Some listings proudly advertise natural sunlight when the neighbour's cat opens the blinds. Oh dear. One ad read, room for rent, comes with a cat. Cat owns a place, you pay rent. That is kind of true with cats, isn't it? They are the landlord. Flat earthers once advised a ground level room with a view. Ground level room with a view. Okay. A New York listing once offered a cozy sleeping pod, which was a shelf inside a closet, for $700 a month. Wow. Blimey. Statistically, renters are more likely to own a plunger than a toaster. Plungers are fairly important, although I don't own one. I wish I did sometimes. I think the toilet would agree. In one viral video, a landlord asked if the renter was okay with sharing the shower with my boa constrictor. He's very polite. That would be a... You'd leave, wouldn't you? You'd be like, it's like, well, I'll get back to you, and move out of the town probably. I mean, that's wow. No. One guy asked if his emotional support goat could move in too. Apparently it was a no. Emotional support goat. That'd be cool. Imagine, I just wonder what it's like to have an emotional support animal, because Vinny's the complete opposite to being emotional support. He's got no... It's like he has no emotions. He's completely detached to how I'm feeling. There's no synchronization whatsoever. He's not interested. It's weird. And there's a website in the UK where you can rent rooms by the hour, strictly for naps. It's called Napflix and Chill. Yeah, strictly for naps. So you'd rent a room by the hour, strictly to go to sleep. Yeah, sure. My oldest brother visited me in 1999, I think it was. Maybe 2000. I hadn't seen him since 1986. I don't even know how he got in contact with me, to be honest with you. Somehow he got in contact. So I put him up where I was staying, because there was a spare room in that house just overnight. I asked my landlady, she said, yeah, it's fine, just overnight, you can just kip on the floor. So he did that just overnight, and the next day we went looking to see if we could find him anywhere to live, because he wanted to move to London. Yeah, I think he was living somewhere else. So we're going to these places. I think we wanted to just at least find a bed and breakfast for him to stay in for a few nights. And I was going to pay for it, and it was just... Bed and breakfast weren't like huge amount of money back then. And we knocked on this door. Most of the places said they had signs saying no rooms or whatever, no vacancies. But we knocked on one place, one room. He said, "Yeah, but you only rent by the hour." And he smiled, and I said, "This is my brother. Why would I want to rent a room for 1 hour to go in there with my brother?" And he said, "It takes all sorts." It's like, it wound me up, I'll be honest. It's, yeah, still too soon. Still can't find any humour in it. That is quite funny, actually. But yeah, I just like, really? Renting by the room, there's only one reason you would... I suppose for someone, I guess if they were technically by the hour, it's a place if you could have a wash and, you know, that would be handy for some people that were travelling or... But yeah, it was there for a specific reason, and I didn't even know stuff like that existed. Like, you know, rooms that you could rent for 1 hour. I mean, blimey. Come on. A Canadian, what's it called? Netflix. Okay. I'll look on that later. Should we check it out? Let's go and look on Netflix. Netflix. Siesta video platform. Netflix is a parody video platform where you find the most silent and sleepy content selection to relax your brain and easily fall asleep. Okay, Netflix. Sleep for 5 hours and 20 minutes. Andy Warhol consisting of long... I wonder, can I add stuff to this? Because this is exactly what I do, isn't it? Welcome to Netflix. We all know the feeling, blah, blah, blah. The World Chess Final 2013. I wonder if they'd... I'm just having a look. I don't know. That's interesting. But it's definitely not what the website, what he said. Netflix and chill. Oh, it's called Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill. Whoops. Netflix and chill. I think they might have just been... Oh, it is April the 1st, isn't it? You don't think it's... Do you think they're just telling jokes? Because it's April the 1st, so I missed an opportunity there, didn't I? I could have just made a lot of stuff up. And then at the end, oh, Merry April the 1st. Damn it. Oh well. A Canadian landlord offered a discount if tenants could beat him at Mario Kart. See, I'm wondering if any of this is real now. A real Craigslist post advertised a room and stated, "We don't have Wi-Fi, but we do have trust." What? What is that? It doesn't even make sense. In some cities, people rent out hammocks on balconies as affordable sleeping options. I wouldn't. No. No. Sleeping on a balcony itself, no. Even with railings and no. Even if it was like on the bottom floor, still no. Hammock. I never found hammocks comfortable. I never did. Never have. Maybe I just haven't laid in the correct hammock. But I never found them just personally, maybe it's just my body type. In Germany, a renter sued the landlord because the ghost in the attic didn't pay rent. Wow. Okay. Again, I think this is April Fool's. Some roommates will mark their food in the fridge. Others go much further. One guy padlocked his cheese drawer. I do believe that. I do believe that. One room for rent ad read, prefer someone quiet, clean, and ideally invisible. You know what? That's how I felt with one of my places that I lived when I was at college. It was technically, squeaky chaired moment, technically it was student accommodation. Because they only rented out to students. Generally. So I moved into this little room. And the daughter that lived there really didn't like me right from the start. I mean, I was 40, she was probably about 27. No, I was 40, I was 30, no, I was 37. She was about 27. She didn't like me. Just didn't like people being there. You know, lodgers. Didn't like lodgers. And even after living there for, I was there through 2008, 2009, 2010. So I was there for 3 years, December, January, February, about 3 years and 3 months. And even 2 years, 2.5 years into me living there, I'd walk into the kitchen and she'd jump. Like, I lived here for, felt like a long time. And she just could never get used to having anyone else in the house. Even though, I think what annoyed them a little bit is I wasn't like the standard student they would get, who would only be there during term time, and then half term, holidays, Easter, Christmas, summer holidays, they'd be gone back to their family. Because, as Paul Young used to say, wherever I lay my hat is my home. Except in my case, it's wherever my bald patch becomes even balder is my home. And that's, I didn't have anywhere else to go. That was where I lived. And I think that used to bug them a little bit, like all of them. It's like, why he never goes out? He never leaves. He never leaves the house. It's like, well, this is where I live. What do you want me to do? Go out. Where? I did sometimes go out, but, social life was practically non-existent back then. I did go out in the evenings sometimes, but not much. Not a huge amount. Not like all the time. Not much, not really. So I guess really the trivia, it's like a Trivia Tuesday, but maybe hasn't been quite as trivia-ish as it could have been. I don't know. It's hard to know, innit, eh? So I put yesterday's Let Me Bore You to Sleep, Monday's Boring Objects doc job, which was yesterday's one. I stuck that on YouTube, which seems fine. I was a little bit concerned about the background music, if that'd be an issue, but it doesn't seem to have picked it up. Sunday Papers, which I did, I forgot to upload that, so I did that today. And that's like 2 hours and 21 minutes. But so that's on there. And Peaceful Whispers came out midnight today. So tomorrow, I'll also put this on there later today as well, hopefully. It's still quite early. It's only 4 minutes past 5. So yeah, I'll probably have a little break. I'm going to have a cornetto, I think. And then I'm going to take the little one out at 6 o'clock because his friend Archie, or Archie's mum said, well, we try and meet at 6 so they can sort of spend some time together. So I'm going to do that and go out at 6 today. It's now much lighter for much longer. So I think it's light till about 7:30 in the evening, which is groovy. We got Stress Reducing Whispers released tomorrow morning, the 2nd of April. Mind Clearing Whispers, the 3rd of April, and then Sleepy Whispers, the 4th of April. So they're all booked, all scheduled to be released. And tomorrow, what I might do is do a Wednesday Whispers or Whisper Wednesday. What's it called? Whisper Wednesday? Wednesday Whispers? I don't know what I call it. Let's have a look. I didn't do one last week. I didn't do much last week at all. At all. Trivia Tuesday. Whisper Wednesday. So I'll probably do a Whisper Wednesday tomorrow and maybe go through some of the newspapers or maybe go through a magazine and stuff. So that's tomorrow's recording. So for now, it took ages to do the clear. I know I was only in there for an hour earlier in my friend's flat, my neighbour's flat, but there's still a fair amount to do. I left him in there. I said, you need to go through the paperwork to see what you want to keep and what you want to chuck. And he's doing that. Because, he's like, I'm going through it. Do you want to keep this? Do you want to chuck that out? It's better that he does it himself. Then, because we got rid of one. What did we empty? 1 drawer, cupboard, 1 cupboard, 2 cupboard, 3 cupboard, 4 drawers, 5. So about 4 drawers and 3 cupboards I managed to empty and chuck away stuff and move some stuff. And when they get here on Thursday, apparently they will bring in, I don't know about Thursday, but they'll rip out his stuff. But all the new stuff will have to come into the flat as well. The new stuff that's going to go in the kitchen will have to be stacked somewhere, stored. So he's going to store that in the bedroom. I find that a bit weird they would actually do that. Why not bring it on the day that you're going to actually assemble it, install it. The idea of bringing it, imagine if you had your windows done and they said, okay, well, you have to store these windows inside your home for when we come and put them in. It's like, no, there's no room inside my home. If they were going to do the bathroom or the kitchen here, where am I going to put this? I've got no room to put kitchen cabinets in the living room or in the bedroom. There really isn't. And they can't be left outside in the hallway because they'll go walkies very likely. So, yeah. Have I got any other messages? Facebook, let's have a look. To nothing. Someone at your age, okay. So 211 people. I did get a message from Jackie on Jason Newland's Boring Group. I got to say, you did a great job of editing them out. Because when I posted, I said there's only going to be one version because of the Neighbours music. I've never once heard your Neighbours. Before I realised it was Vinny, I would hear these clicking sounds. But yeah, I do try and mention that it's Vinny in the background, but sometimes I forget and I just assume people know that it's him, which I shouldn't really assume. So I do try. Sometimes I forget, but I do try and let people know when I'm doing a recording that Vinny's around doing his thing, you know. Yeah, that's it really. He's a part of this recording. Although nearly every time I do a recording, he falls asleep. He gets completely bored. And then whenever I say the last few things that I say at the end, he always pops his head up and looks at me. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself because you do deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself because you do deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. Bye. No, he didn't get up. Quite often he just jumps up when I say that. His eyes opened though. I can see your eyes open, Vinny. Yes, I can. I can see your eyes are open. Yeah, I can see your eyes, your eyelids moving. You pretending to be asleep. You pretending to be asleep. You're such a little monkey. He's just jumped up. He knew I knew he was awake. Alright, see ya. Bye. You are so cute. You are so cute. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.